On a previous podcast, I tried, and I did a miserable job, of plugging Blatella. So I'd like to ask you guys to just say a few things, website, domains, or anything like that, and I'll put it at the beginning of the episode.
Alright.
So
You do it. But remember, we're Blatella Films. As of next week.
Okay. So we are Blatella Films. We're an independent film company based in South Essex, and we specialise in corporate and promotional films for companies, but we also do a whole range of projects, from mini documentaries to feature length projects to projects spanning several months. We do anything basically you want us to film. We're based at blatellafilms.co.uk, and we're very happy to talk about projects, so give us a call.
Yo, welcome to the Can't Be Asked podcast, the CBA show, whatever you want to call it. I've got a great episode for you today, featuring two of my friends talking about their business. This is part one. I'm going to split it across two episodes, which you'll hear momentarily. But I just thought I'd do a bit more on this opening. So I generally don't like to give away much regarding future podcasts before they've been recorded, in case it doesn't happen, because in previous episodes I've done that. I said I was going to do X and Y, and never really materialised because either I got bored or it was hard work and I just scrapped it. But I will say I've got about 2.5 hours worth in the bank of audio with my friends Ben and Natalie, so I'm looking to spread that across about 5 episodes so that the episodes aren't too long. The previous episode with Aaron was nearly an hour long, and that was, I don't know, probably a bit of a mistake really on my part, but you know, I'm going to try and make these 20 to 30 minutes. But I will also say, because I've got them in the bank, I've got a bit of an F1 episode, a Latitude episode where I did some audio while I was there, and a bit of a fobbing when I went out with a couple of my friends around fobbing. So yeah, I've got another couple of ideas, but I won't mention them because they've not been recorded yet and they might not materialise. Okay, the date is the 26th of September 2015. I'll give you a little update on what I've been up to. Not a great deal socially, because we've been saving a bit of money, because we've had some DIY done. New toilet, new sink in the downstairs toilet, and a couple of new radiators, among other things. But you know, I've done work, and you know, I've seen the odd person. It's been pretty cool, but otherwise, October is looking to be quite a quiet financial month leading up to Christmas. Obviously, for buying presents and stuff, and obviously, just it'd be nice to have a bit of spare cash aside. I did have something else for this opening, but fuck me, it's gone. But here's part one of the Blatella interview. Enjoy. Right, I've just got to think now, actually. I had all these notes written down in my book. Right, okay. So, have you got any idea what sort of... Wait, so let's do some background. Obviously you met in college. Mm-hmm. But the first year of uni, Ben, you went to Wales and you went to Guildford.
No, I went to Guildford. Ben took a gap
Oh yeah,
year.
you took a gap year and went travelling, didn't you?
Yeah.
I went round the world getting mugged.
Yeah. Quite successfully.
Yeah, I know.
It was only one place you got mugged.
No, I got in a fight.
Alright, fair enough.
So, twice.
Where did you get in a fight?
In Vienna train station. A bloke had his hand in my pocket, so I punched him. And then everyone took my side, which was nice.
Good.
Considering I was fighting a German in Austria.
Well, and then it was Holland you got mugged, wasn't it?
Yes.
Amsterdam.
Yeah. Got mugged, reported it, walked back from the police station, had a bloke had his knife up to my neck on the walk back.
Lovely.
From the police station. Give me your money. I ain't got any, mate. Just got mugged. Good time.
Maybe you're very muggy.
Apparently.
You haven't been mugged in a while though. I think that was the last time.
No, that's just the negative parts of my trip.
Mm.
I had good bits.
Yeah.
Okay, so then, you were at Guildford for the first year.
Well, I was at Guildford for about 3 months.
Oh.
I went in the September.
Oh. I didn't realise it was that short.
It was very brief. I went in the September and never really settled in. It was a very nice university and the people there were very nice, but something just never clicked.
About the course.
The course, yeah, it was mostly the course. I think if I'd have picked the right course, I could have got on with the uni. But I don't know, looking back, I feel like actually it just wasn't the right time for me to go to uni. And sort of around the December and the beginning of January, I really decided that I just needed to cut my losses and leave. So I left halfway through January, and then I got a job at the council to fill the gap in between, because I knew I wanted to go to university. I knew I wanted to just study straight film, whereas the course I picked at Surrey, it's culture, media, communication, so there was film in it, but it was too diluted for me.
Right.
So I got a job from about, I think it was March, I got my job at the council, and then I worked that all the way through till sort of late August, and then we both went to Wales for uni.
See, I really didn't know that, but obviously, I'm sure I did at the time, but it's been, what, fucking now? How long ago? What, like...
That'd be 2007.
8 years?
So, yeah,
Yeah.
that sort of
Yeah.
information you just forget. Yeah, so,
Yeah.
bloody hell, 3 months. Yeah, because I visited you in the snow. I
You
remember.
did, yeah.
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 How
Okay.
close were you living to Steve?
Not that far. It was
Across
only
the
about,
campus,
yeah,
wasn't it?
10-minute walk if that.
Weren't you near a bank? Wasn't there HSBC on campus? You were near a bank, weren't you?
I wasn't.
Oh, maybe Steve was.
Steve was right by the union.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of services near him. Like it was a really big campus. It
Yeah,
had
it's like a one-stop shop or something.
yeah.
wasn't
The
it?
union was 4 stories, so they could have multiple theme nights going on at one time. They had a computer shop on site. They had several different cafes. They had a spa.
A Subway.
No, there wasn't a Subway, but there was a sort of like fast food pizza place on campus. So you didn't have to ring someone from town. You could actually go and get like a kebab or a pizza from the on-site fast
So
food.
you had all that, and all Ben had was getting mugged.
Yeah.
I was offered a baby.
And uranium.
Yeah? Lovely.
Yeah, you met Patrick.
I met a lot of Canadians. When I
So
met Canadians, naturally.
Right, so we'll skip over that part, because I'll talk to you about that in your other episode. So then, 2007 September, you guys went to Wales?
Yeah. Because September 2006 we left college.
Yeah.
And then the following September we both went off to Wales together.
Okay. And it was the University of...
When we first went there, it was Trinity College Carmarthen, and then halfway through it became Trinity University College.
At some point it was Carmarthen University, because I remember the netball team used that acronym.
Yeah, Carmarthen University netball team. That was a very brief change. So yeah, it became...
Did they have it abbreviated on their tops?
They actually did, yeah.
Oh, I love it.
And it didn't last very long.
I love it.
Well, their charity week in Carmarthen University was Raising and Giving Week.
Yeah,
So
Rag
they
Week.
had all this stuff up for Rag Week.
Which everyone not from Wales found hilarious.
Bloody funny.
But they didn't get it.
Mind you, nobody there found the name Spreads. Oh, there's a restaurant called Spreads.
Spread
Spread
Eagle.
Really?
Yeah. All the out-of-towners found it for the first time, started laughing, and no one from Carmarthen understood why. But now the university is called Trinity St David University of Wales. So it changed its name, and that was just
You
after
can't
we
really
left.
make an acronym out of that.
No,
can you?
it changed its name 3 times when we were there.
Right, okay. So, and the name, you did the same course, I take it?
We did,
And
yeah,
then
film
course,
studies.
It was just film studies.
Yep,
just.
straight film.
So it wasn't film... It wasn't like fag.
No.
There was no acronym for the name of the... Right, okay. So they learned their... oh no, isn't that a famous actor guild in Team America, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah, fag. Anyway, and you did that for 3 years?
We did do that for 3 years, yep. Graduated 2010.
Right, so I'm just trying to... The foundations of your business. So obviously you had the 3 years. Come back every Christmas, maybe summer holidays and stuff, and did you get any summer jobs or anything like when we were?
I was working in a party shop.
Oh yeah.
Did that on the summer before we went to university, and in the summer between first and second year.
Yeah, I kept going back to the council because I worked in the contact centre in between Surrey and Wales. I knew the job already, and because I was there as a temp, the following summer I said, do you have, space for a temp for 2-3 months? And they said, yep, so I went back every summer. Ben didn't go back the summer in between second and third year. He stayed in Carmarthen.
So that's 2009.
2009, because we privately rented a flat. It wasn't student accommodation.
Oh, right.
And because we didn't want to lose the flat, Ben decided to stay in Carmarthen and try and get a little job in Carmarthen itself. And I went. He didn't. No.
Yeah, tried.
He tried really hard. He really did.
You could have been in the old Spread Eagle, couldn't you?
Well, I went back to Grays and went back to the council.
How was that? Being like a month away from each other.
It was about 2.5-3 months, wasn't it?
Fine.
That's fine.
It was. It was because up until that point,
I wasn't getting mugged this time we were apart, so she wasn't as worried.
Well, because up until that point, we'd spent almost every day together since we first really started to know each other, and spoke online and rung each other. And I mean, I was busy all during the day.
MSN still around at that point? I don't know. I had it on my BlackBerry at that point.
Yeah, I think we just used Facebook at that point. So it was all right, really.
Yeah, you overlooked the fact that you two were an item when you were travelling the world. So what was that? What was the whole? Oh, let's be together. Oh, by the way, I'm fucking off, and you're going to uni. So was that just was that all right? That was an easy sort of conversation, or?
Well, it was already decided that that's what he was going to do, so there wasn't really.
Yeah, we got together in April.
Yeah, and then I was just like, okay, well, I'm going to uni and you're doing that. If he was at uni, he would have been at a different one, so it didn't make any difference. The only thing that made it hard was that I was really struggling at Guildford. Really just wasn't getting along with it, just felt really out of place. And at that point, I didn't know why. I thought I should just be liking this. Why aren't I liking this? So that was a bit difficult. But then I still could talk to him on the phone and
When did you get back from Europe? From Mugfest 2007?
I was supposed to come back December the 28th. But I actually came back, I think, December the 20th.
Yeah, 20th, 21st.
Just before Christmas.
Like
Because I'd lost my passport that I'd taken, I thought I was going to spend Christmas on my own in Amsterdam. But I didn't. Yeah, because it turned up.
He was originally supposed to go from Amsterdam, meet me in Paris. We were going to get together for a long weekend, and he'd been saving up euros all through travelling, and he was going to take me to the Moulin Rouge. And then he was going to go on because his grandparents were in Spain and spend Christmas with them, and then none of that happened.
But at that time, you were home from Guildford, were you?
I was, because I remember when I found out that he'd been mugged. I don't know why I remember this. It was the day after we'd all gone to Surfer, and I had a really good time. And it was around that time that I was starting to think I need.
I've had a great time though.
Yeah.
I know you're fucked, but I've had a great time.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I remember ringing up. You were all at Amy's party in Bath.
Oh yeah.
Was that the
November, the late 20s, because her birthday's the 26th.
And I rang up and spoke to everyone, but I was sat in a hostel in Greece at the time. And you were like, "You alright?" I was like, "Yeah." Just cost me about £9 that phone call. I was literally a bunch of drunk people going, "You alright?"
So then, through your 3 years, how many films did you think you either directed or filmed, or just as a guess?
We
just
made
separately at uni.
One each in the first year.
Yeah, one each in the first year. One each in the second year.
Remember any of the names of the titles?
Yeah, got them all.
Annalise was my first film.
No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't. It was. No, apart from those at uni. No, it was that. It was that Lord of the Rings rip-off.
The day goes forever on.
The road goes ever on.
Oh,
because the first project was take a song or a poem and make a film about it as loosely or as close as you want to. So I took a poem from the Lord of the Rings.
Miles Dustman?
No.
And I had a Hobbit costume.
He had a Hobbit costume, so I made Ben walk through the woods in Wales in November.
Barefoot?
Yeah, barefoot. And so I made a little film like that. And so yeah, we did that. And then you took a
did
song.
one where I was chasing myself through the forest.
Yeah.
I don't really know why.
No, I don't. So we
Good,
made one in the first year.
You made one in the second year.
Which was Annalise.
You made Annalise. I
and
made the beginning.
The beginning, yeah. So we made... Yeah, and then I think in the last year we made...
Oh no, because we made the end in the first year as well. We made the end and the beginning.
Because I saw the end poster the other day, which was Your Eye.
Yeah.
Saying, what was
that film is I Am Legend, but with me, Inca Martin.
Yeah.
Which is not as interesting.
And then
What's so bloody funny about Spread Eagle?
In the final year, we made 4 films for the course. We both made a documentary and we both made a fiction film. But then around that, I think we made about 8 others.
Yeah, we made...
Are these the film in a minute things?
No,
not including those. Yeah, we made 12 of those. And you also did a Grand Day Out series, which I'm not counting. I'm counting like sort of fiction films.
And then we had a couple of corporate jobs. People hired us. We did a thing for a fire safety drill at the college, and they wanted some people to film it.
That was for Carmarthen Fire.
That was our first sort of corporate job.
Yeah, that was. Our university was pretty good actually. They would get live briefs from companies and offer it up to the students, and because we were the only ones who were really interested in doing that, we put ourselves forward and we got it. Cool. So, and even for a time we were not on the university payroll, but we did paid work for the acting course. We filmed there because they had DVD showreels that all the actors were on, and they sent off to like casting agencies. So we filmed the monologues that they had prepared for that and gave them the footage, and we got paid for that. So we actually did a lot of filming, not just for the course or for ourselves, but we actually did lots of paid work while we were still at university.
That's cool. See, I've always liked your Grand Day Out series, and I've always wanted to do one.
I've got about 10.
I really think you should do
but
one.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Like, unless you guys dumped me somewhere really fucking remote, I'm a little bit fanatical about maps and stuff. I know I kind of know how to, in a certain area, I kind of know how to get everywhere. So you'd have to really fucking dump me somewhere. But I'd love to do it.
I think it would be really funny if you did one. And
well, some of those some we were just dump places and find our way back, but others were just we didn't know what was up this way, so we just carried on in this direction.
I think that's the reason it works so well, is because in West Wales where we were, lots of things are really far apart, and there's just lots of little country lanes, and especially if you're not familiar with the area, a lot of the road names can look very similar.
I'd like to do, and we could do this. We do a Grand Day Out style thing, Southend to Pitsea, Pitsea to Grace. I don't think you could do it all in one day.
Fuck.
So
that'd
probably
be
about probably about an 8-hour walk.
You don't always have to not know where you're getting to or from. It's just you go on a walk.
It's just seeing what's on the way.
There's somewhere I've wanted to do. I did it partially with Mark, Steve and Trixie. We started off at the Mardyke, and we ended up under the M25 on the way to Purfleet, and we stopped because, like, Steve was like, "Well, man, Trixie needs to go home. It was a really long walk, but I'd like to carry on." And that was a really nice walk. Yeah, that'd be good to do.
You should do that, because as I say, it's not just about not knowing when you're going. There's lots of rules, like you can't walk back, you can't go back the way you came. So if you have a bit of rubbish and you go past the bin, you can't walk back to that bin. You have to keep going. I can't remember what the other rules are now. We'd have to watch it again.
Yeah, it's just little weird little things along the way, isn't
it? Yeah.
Okay, so you graduate from uni. 2000 summer 2009.
10.
2000 summer 2010. You come back. You go live with your mum and dad. You go live back at I should know the name of the road. Buxton. Yeah. Fuck. I was thinking George, but then one of the other roads is George.
King
isn't
George Drive.
No,
King Edward Drive.
King Edward Drive.
No, isn't there like
George Street?
George Street. Yeah.
And Warren Street was another one.
Gordon.
That's it.
It's Gordon. Yeah.
Slalom Road, as I called it.
Buxton. Yeah. The road that I was never down because I was always late for college. Then I'm not gonna make it. In 2 years I must have knocked it like 4 times.
Yeah.
Actually, in my Diaryland thing, it was like this list of 100 things that I like doing or something, and it was like most Wednesdays I go around Ben's and play with his camera. It's like, why Wednesdays? I wonder what was so.
Mind you, that was the day we always tended to go to the Oak, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I don't know why.
I used to work Thursdays. I remember that.
I never used to work Wednesdays actually. Maybe that was why.
Yeah, it might
but
be.
No, this bit was before we were friends with all you lot. We were friends with idiots. But anyway, so from graduating back to normality of Grays,
yeah.
what happened next? Bit by bit.
Yeah.
Oh, we moved to Southend. Present day. Oh no. Where else happened?
When we first came back,
I think we had one computer. We had my one, so we were able to do editing work. We couldn't film anything because the cameras at uni were the uni's cameras.
we borrowed them from
We bought our first camera. I think we were back for about a year before we did that.
Yeah, it took us quite a while because at first we went to the job centre and we signed on and we tried the proper way to get a job. So we were looking for jobs being advertised, sending off CVs and application forms, which was hard because the job centre's not set up to really accommodate the creative industry, because jobs like that just don't really advertise like that. And it's greys, and it's great if you want to work in Lakeside or an office, but because we were so passionate and desperate to work in film, and our parents were very supportive of that, we really made an extra effort to look for these jobs to apply for. So we found film industry websites that would list jobs, and we got a few bits of freelance work.
First year you did a film for Coca-Cola.
Yeah,
I did some Nigerian feature film editing.
Yeah,
that was terrible.
I got a 3-month unpaid internship with an edit house to edit.
Where was that based?
Where was that based? I didn't actually go in to do that. I did that
from home.
I did that from home because by that point I'd bought a Mac from the money from one of the jobs we'd got at uni, and so I did it from home. I did go to meet them, but I can't think where it was now.
Sorry, can I just back in 1 second? I should have asked this a bit earlier. Were you engaged by this point?
We got engaged.
2009, just before the start of our third year.
And how did that happen? Because for some reason I've got this fucking weird. What I think happened, and it didn't happen.
What do you think happened?
For some reason, I'm picturing. Oh no, I've since been told. I remember now. That I've for some reason thought it was on your doorstep.
Not quite. No.
No, it was. You told me this a little while ago, but if we.
Yeah, it was at the end of the summer that we'd spent apart. How romantic! And Ben had come up for a few days because it was around my birthday, and we were planning a party, and we were going to go to Thorpe Park with my parents because my birthday's on the 3rd of September, my mum's is on the 8th. So we thought, we'd go together because they like roller coasters as well. And the day he came up, which was the 27th of August, we were at my house and we'd had dinner, I think. Yeah, we'd had dinner. And I was upstairs and Ben went downstairs and then came back up and put a DVD on, and it said Happy Birthday Natalie. It's a nice slideshow of like all the photos of us right from when we first got together, and it was set to music and it was very nice, and isn't that lovely? And then I was sat on the bed and I turned around and Ben was on the floor on one knee with the ring in his hand. And when he popped downstairs he actually went to, I don't think you asked permission from my parents, but you said, I'm going to propose.
It was more a case of I went down there and your parents were in the kitchen. I went, so I've got this. I showed them the ring and they went, oh! So that was what I needed.
Yeah. So yeah.
Cool. So back to so you had a 3-month internship. You were doing from home.
Doing from home.
And what were you doing at this time?
Same sort of thing. The Nigerian job. I had a couple others. Some paid, some unpaid. In January I was working in Gosport all week doing an unpaid edit job, and then come back at the weekend, do some paid work, and then signing on Monday morning, and then going back doing more unpaid work all week, things like that. And then eventually, about February that year, 2011, we bought a camera off of someone. So we started making our own things again. A couple of corporate jobs, but we picked up on Natalie's documentary on the State Cinema.
Oh yes, because when we got the camera, we had started. One of the last modules at university was a documentary module, and I made a really short 10-minute documentary on the State Cinema in Grays, about sort of the history of it and its uncertain future. And then when we got the camera, we thought, well, we'll continue this and develop it. And we got a couple of interviews with people who had worked at the State, gone to the State, things like that. We haven't done anything with it since because the history of the State was uncertain. But now it has been bought by Wetherspoons. We are actually going to contact them as a company.
We've done this so far.
Say that we've got the sort of the start of a documentary. We would love to finish it off with, by following the transformation process
And then you can even date it. This was, you can say 2010,
Well, exactly.
whatever.
We've been following the story since 2010.
And you might even get mates rates at Witherspoons.
That would be very nice.
Amazing.
Discount card.
Yeah, but you probably, this might change, this might get Ben getting mugged or punched again, Witherspoons in Grows. I'm not fully sold on the idea. I mean, I love the state and I love the fact they're doing something, but the Pullman and the Queens have shut. So where are all the wankers going to go?
Well, you've still got the Theobalds and the White Hart that open. And the Queen's is still open, isn't it?
Queens has lost its licence as of recently.
So now I don't think necessarily that the state as a Witherspoons is going to go that far downhill, because you've got the council in town and you've got the new college, which has got a lot of students and a lot of lecturers.
Ugh.
There's nowhere really in
Witherspoons loses its licence for underage drinking.
I know. But they do higher education as well.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people there that would probably want a nice-ish place to go for a pub lunch. Because there's, apart from Morrison's, which is more of a cafe, there's nowhere to sort of get traditional pub food in Grays.
No,
and
you're
to
right.
have a sit down and have a drink, really. It's not even a chain coffee shop.
I'm not even sure the Workman Club's there anymore for Surfer. I mean, the building's there. I think it's shut as well.
So I don't necessarily think, because it's so large as well, I don't necessarily think it's going to go downhill. I think it will probably be more like the Last Post in Southend.
All right.
That's always quite busy. There's obviously you're going to get a few barflies that are there all day long, but I think mostly it'll be quite a nice-ish pub to go into.
Cool.
And I would love to film its transformation, really would.
So we've got to about February 2011. That's the last date you mentioned.
First
about
camera.
that. We bought our camera.
Soon after.
You still got it?
We have, but we don't use it anymore.
Is it like
It's runs on tapes.
right?
So it's
Outdated.
a bit
it's
outdated,
not
yeah.
HD either, which was the main thing.
So it was,
But it was a good starter camera.
right.
Which meant that we could start doing our own freelance or free unpaid camera work, but we could also start touting for corporate work and actually asking for money for what we were doing.
At the time, we launched as a graphic design company and film company, so we were doing a lot of posters and
At what
leaflets.
point did Sinister happen? Are we anywhere near that?
We are actually. No, I'm sure. I might be wrong, but I'm sure it was about summer 2011 when we were just starting the film festival, talking about it, that we got that email because we were around Janine's, and I'm sure it was around summer 2011 that Ben got the email.
Was that the first film festival?
Yeah, that's when we started arranging it. The first festival was in 2012,
Oh right,
but we
you
sort of
arranged it.
started
Okay.
organising it in 2011.
And the deal with Sinister was some dude found a Flickr picture.
Yeah, the director
Yeah.
found Ben's picture on a
I
Flickr.
don't know what I can say on record, so legally I don't know. I can't
And
say
then
full
and the
details
rest
of
is
it, but
history.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they found a picture I made,
You got money.
liked it,
They
paid me
bought
for
it.
it,
You
You
gave
got
me
a
a
figure,
credit.
and it's rolled on to a sequel.
I inserted a sequel clause, and
Right.
sequel comes.
And you got even more money this time, so you've not needed to pay for legal fees.
And the exchange rate is better. I get paid the same amount I got paid last time, but
Oh,
the
is
dollars
it, yeah,
actually
is
goes
it, what
a
is
bit
it, a
further.
Scandinavian company or something? Or am I making that
American.
up?
no, it's
Oh,
American.
Fuck, where I got that from? Anyway. Okay, so we're now moving towards mid 2011.
Yeah.
I think by this point,
Oh,
Natalie
were
had
you-
bought a new computer,
Were
so we have
you
two.
still,
Oh, yeah.
were you guys still living where you were living when you...
Yep, both at parents' house.
Nice and local to each other?
Oh, very, very close, very close. And so, yeah, so we started to arrange the first film festival. We had the idea. We went to see Mark Allenson, who manages the Thameside, and he said, "So when are we going to have a film night to show all your films that you've made?" And we thought, "Oh, brilliant! We've got the Thameside." But we thought, well, who's going to come see that? And we'd had experience at university of arranging a one-day sort of film festival. So we said, we'll take that time and we'll make a film festival. And it went from there, basically. We had a short film competition. We invited entries from all over the world for short films. We showed a couple of feature films. It's very ambitious, considering that we were still sort of very, having normal, unstable work. We didn't have a living as such. It was very up and down, but we decided to go ahead anyway.
At this point, were you starting to think about the wedding as well? Or was that a little bit later on?
When we first got engaged, our plan was 2000. We got engaged in 2009, and we said, well, it's going to be a few years. We've got to plan it right. We'll get married in 2012. And then obviously this is under the assumption that we'd have our degree and then get a job. But
bit naive.
It didn't work out that way, and it got to come up in sort of summer 2011, and we realised that's not gonna. We're gonna get married next year, so we just held on to it. We also, because we were still living with each other, with parents, we didn't really want to be married, and then to still just popping around the wife's house it doesn't sound right.
Thought it might be a bit weird.
Talking of the film festival, I don't know if I mentioned it. The most recent film festival, me, Louise, and George came to watch Psycho.
Mm-hmm.
And I was familiar with what was going to happen and what, I think I've watched too many YouTube videos of the top 10 such and such, and I've seen so many bits of footage that kind of ruins the endings of films and stuff, so I knew it was coming. But Louise and Jules did, and they were fucking shitting their pants all the way through, up to the point that the dude, spoiler, turns up just as his mum, and they fucking pissed themselves laughing. I'm not sure that was the desired effect of Hitchcock's, but they absolutely fucking wet themselves laughing. Because all the way through they're like, oh my God, like when it's a skeleton and stuff, and then they were like, ah, proper piss themselves laughing. Well, okay, so then you were with Thameside, and they said, and you thought, we've got the foundations of maybe a film festival in 2012.
Mm-hmm. Well, the original thing there was we went and spoke to Mark, and he said, do you want to show some of your films? Just have a day showing an evening, whatever, showing some of the films you've made. And we thought, yeah. But who's going to come to that? We're going to have 10 of our friends come. It's a bit of a waste.
It just felt a waste of the offer. A free evening in a theatre that's fully equipped. We just thought that would be really nice, and it was a very generous offer, but we thought, what else could we do with that?
So we put a whole project together and
I think we impressed
it to him.
We came back 2 weeks later and said we want to run a film festival, and he sort of looked at us and went, oh, okay, fair enough. And then we laid out what we were going to do, and I think he was slightly taken aback with how much we'd thought it through.
That's good.
Yeah, and the first one was in June 2012.
Okay, well that's another episode in the bag. I hope you enjoyed listening to it as much as I enjoyed recording it. The second part's just as good. A really good insight into the company and a couple of my friends. So that's another episode in the bag. So, alright, shut up.
Tonight the headphones will deliver the words that I can't say.